What the f was that?
Support WrestleTalk!
Sasha Banks returns, Alexa Bliss cries over Lily for what feels like 7 years, and Roman Reigns defeats Demon Finn Balor with the power of God? Subscribe here because today is day 99 as your Jam That Champion, and tomorrow, sweet, sweet tomorrow, will be day 100. Ollie failed to dethrone me as champion, so now he's my manservant. And I think I said it best on the live reactions.
Do you remember a little while ago how you used to tell me to dance all the time? We even made a t-shirt of it and it was dance chopper all the time. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was a good time, right? Good time had by all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ollie. Dance, Ollie.
Here's my review of WWE Rules in about 10 minutes. On the kickoff show was Liv Morgan versus Carmella, and I had said going into this match that if they gave the match a little time, a little effort, and actually cared a bit about it, this could be quite a fun match. And you know what? It was! Carmella cut a promo beforehand about being attractive, you know, the usual. And after a decent little match, Liv did the same move she did to break Carmella's nose that turned out to be completely fine, but this time into the commentary table and rolled her into the ring, hit her finish for the decisive win. Sure, I'm glad she didn't lose on SmackDown or anything. Also on the kickoff show was a backstage brawl between Biggie, Omos, and Bobby Lashley, which then was turned into the main card's opening match of The New Day versus Bobby Lashley, Omos, and AJ Styles. And in typical WWE fashion, an opening pay-per-view match and a 6-man tag match was really good. It's like the two things they're consistently really good at. This match got so much time to shine and had some great spots in it, with a lovely little Xavier Woods hot tag, love a bit of that. Biggie muscling AJ out of the corner with sheer brute strength to hit a Uranagi after the spot went a little awry, and a spot where Omos chopped Kofi Kingston clean out of midair. AJ forearmed Xavier on the outside, leaving Biggie all alone in the ring, who had a great showdown with Lashley. But it was miscommunication central with the heel team. As Lashley was gearing up for a spear, AJ blind tagged himself in, but before he could go for the phenomenal forearm that ended up missing, Lashley had tagged himself back in, but inadvertently speared AJ Styles instead, leading to Biggie hitting the big ending on Lashley for the win. This was a really fun impromptu opener, and after some backstage promos later in the night, it set up a WWE Championship rematch between Biggie and Lashley that will be opening tonight's episode of Raw. I'm all for this, this was great. This could very well be leading to Lashley losing to Biggie once more before being drafted to SmackDown. I for one think he could do a lot for the blue brand and would be a welcome addition into the main event scene, and it's another person for Roman to be in it. After this came another very enjoyable match between the Street Profits and the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, with the story of the match being Montez Ford's injured ribs following the post-match beatdown from Roman and the Usos on SmackDown. There were constant spots working him over, with him selling the injury throughout the match. After a nutty dive outside the ring going over the corner post, Ford hit a frog splash, but oh no, his ribs, so the eventual pin was broken up. And the finish came when Dawkins sacrificed himself to take the super kicks for Ford, but it ended up in vain as the Usos super kicked Ford and hit a double splash for the win. The bloodline reigns on. Up next was hometown girl Alexa Bliss taking on Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss in her hometown. Guess it's time for her to lose, and lose she did. This was a fine match and the crowd were very into the idea of Bliss winning, but instead Charlotte just kind of won after taking most of the match. There were some nice spots and counters, but overall this wasn't as strong as the two matches that had come before it. After the match, Charlotte tore up the Lily doll and stood tall in a brawl, because why have the hometown hero get anything nice at all? And then Alexa cried over the doll for an absolute eternity. There was a weird bit where she was crying on the ramp and she was really trying to get something to come out of her mouth. It looked like she had some of that black goo in a thing that she was supposed to burst. It looked like a mint or a pill on her tongue, but it just didn't work for whatever reason. So instead she just kind of dribbled everywhere. But it's okay, because up next was the United States Championship triple threat between Damian Priest, Sheamus, and Jeff Hardy. And this match was awesome. This was quite fast-paced and never seemed to relent. Even in the quieter moments of the match, the intensity was still there. Sheamus was the absolute MVP of this match. Not that MVP. And towards the end, just seemed to be having a bit of a laugh as he mocked Jeff Hardy's taunt on the top rope, was mouthing off to the crowd and cutting jokes, but took a huge top rope spinning sit-out chokeslam for his troubles. In the end, Sheamus hit the bro kick on Hardy, but Priest rolled up Sheamus to get the win as Sheamus looked to get the pin on Hardy. This finish was okay, but personally I would rather Priest hit the reckoning and win decisively, as Sheamus still would have been protected that way. It just makes Priest look better. We got to our semi-main event of Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and you know what? Up until the finish, this was the match of the night. It was nice to see that these two had great chemistry in the ring, and for Becky's first proper match back since pregnancy, it seemed she hadn't missed a beat. The disarm her was almost locked in a couple of times, but Bianca managed to escape, and this led into an attempted KOD towards the end, but this was the cue for the return of Sasha Banks, who came out and caused a DQ finish. Banks beat up Bianca for a bit, and after some fun character work from Becky holding up a shaky thumbs up to Sasha, Sasha beat her up too, and stood tall to end the segment. This is most likely leading to a three-way feud going forward, which is fine with me on paper, but at some point, I do fear that Bianca is going to go the same way of McIntyre, in that she might be overexposed in and around the title scene, and at some point, she'll need a break away from it. Also, why couldn't you have Banks return after the match had finished? After an actual finish? Oh, yeah, no, right, of course, that's because you would actually have to book a winner. And speaking of terrible finishes, finally, it was main event time as Demon Finn Balor took on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And hey, it was cool seeing the Demon enter again, but really now, get rid of those tentacles on the AR, please. They are terrible. Everything was going fine in this match. There was a bit of weirdness peppered throughout though, like Roman grabbing a kendo stick only for Finn to reveal his own some kind of kendo stick contraption, which was 4 kendo sticks taped together with some tape painted like his demon makeup, which was not good. He hit Roman with it a couple of times and then we never see it again. That sure was worth it. The two brawled into the crowd, but not before Roman puts on a mask. Safety first. The face paint won't save you in there, Finn. Maybe that was Roman's plan for the match. Brawl in the crowd and make sure Finn gets COVID, and then wait. There was a massive Uranagi in the ring through a table, and some really awesome near falls, like Balor kicking out of a spear and doing the same low blow kick out that Roman has used a few times, as well as Balor hitting the cow oop del Grazia, pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but being dragged out of the ring by the Usos before he could get the win. Balor fought them off, but was speared through the barricade by Reigns, and that's when things got weird. So they're all lying there, all 4 of them, and Balor's heartbeat from his theme plays, and the red lights go. As this is happening, Finn's body does this. And then he gets up and is fired up like he's a man possessed, but what's that? Finn's music is still playing? That's a bit weird, but his theme just starts playing while the red lights stay on, and he goes nuts, getting Reigns back in the ring and standing on the top rope ready for another Kolop du Gretel. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But that's when God intervenes. The top rope that Balor is standing on completely buckles, and Balor falls into the ring, selling his leg. The moment the ropes give in as well, the red light goes away, and his music stops playing, because I guess production were in on the prank. As he's getting to his feet, he gets speared by Reigns, and he wins. So Demon Balor loses. And then after, Reigns starts looking up to the sky and pointing up at God? Because in canon, in actual WWE kayfabe, God interfered in the match and got Reigns to win because Balor is a demon? Because Reigns is God's champion? Does that mean God is a heel? I mean, we haven't seen God in WWE since Backlash 2006, and he was a babyface then. This was astoundingly stupid. Like, what actually happened? The top rope just collapsed for no reason, and it was God that did it for Reigns and caused Balor to lose. What the fuck just happened? I am so confused. And I don't think we're going to get a proper answer on SmackDown either. This was legitimately, including the weird red light heartbeat demon stuff, probably one of the worst pay-per-view finishes I've ever seen. This was baffling. And on top of all of that, that's how Demon Balor gets his first loss on the main roster because of God, I guess? Huh? Give me a timeout. Oh, it's dumb. Oh, it's real stupid. God with the assist. Oh, boy. So overall, most of WWE Rules was quite enjoyable. The two main event matches suffered from really poor finishes, but the quality of the in-ring wrestling was really good, especially from the opening six-man and the United States triple threat. But unfortunately, it's how you leave them, and with that pay-per-view finish, this probably gets like a 2 out of 5, because really, that's one of the worst pay-per-view finishes I've ever seen. God saved he saved him. Really, actually, in kayfabe, actual God saved Reigns. This is confirmation that God exists and he likes Roman Reigns. What the f***, WWE? What did you think of the show? Let me know in the comments because I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere, just like God, for the first 30 minutes after this video goes live. Subscribe to WrestleTalk podcast as myself and my new manservant Ollie will be reviewing this show in depth later today, and we'll be laughing about that finish all over again. And you can watch us react to it in live time by clicking the video on the end screen right now.
He's selling his leg.
Yeah, and he's gonna get spinned. He's gonna get pinned. That's it. 1, 2, 3. What was all of that?